Welcome dear students. Today we are going to start our third chapter, next point from the third chapter, triangle. Here in the first concept we are going to learn the median of the triangle. Now I am going to explain the definition of on blackboard. Now suppose we have taken triangle A, B and C and point P, Q and R are midpoints of the sides AB, BC and AC respectively. Now here I am going to explain the concept median. When we join a vertex of the triangle with the midpoint of its opposite side. Suppose I have selected A as the vertex, opposite side is BC and Q is the midpoint of that side BC. And if I join this segment AQ, then AQ is said to be the median of the triangle. Now, for each triangle, there are three different sides, and that's why we are able to draw three medians for a triangle. Suppose I have joined this vertex C, opposite side is AB, and midpoint of side AB is P. Therefore, CP is the second median of the triangle A, B and C. Similarly, if I have selected vertex B, then R is the midpoint of side AC. If I join point B and R, then BR is the third median for this triangle. Now observe the figure on blackboard. Here, all the three medians are intersecting in one point, and this point is said to be, since all the three medians are concurrent, when all the three medians intersect in one point, we can say that all the three medians are concurrent to each other. Now here point G is said to be the point of concurrence of these medians, and for medians the point of concurrence is said to be centroid of that medians. Now here I am going to tell the property directly, but there is one activity given in our textbook. If you find the ratio that point G divide each side in the ratio 2:1, that means we can easily say this property that the point of concurrence G divide each median in the ratio in the part of 2:1. That means AG and GQ, the ratio of AG upon GQ is equal to 2:1. The meaning of this, for each side we can write this ratio like this, that CG upon GP is 2:1. Similarly, BG upon GR is also 2:1. This is one of the important property related with the medians of the triangle, that the point of concurrence of the medians, that point which is said to be the centroid, and that centroid divides each median in the ratio 2:1. Now here we are going to learn important theorem which is related with the point of concurrence and the median. We are going to learn important theorem from this concept of median. Now the theorem is related with a right angle triangle, that if in a right angle triangle we take a median on the hypotenuse, length of that median is exactly half of the hypotenuse. Now suppose here I will take a midpoint of hypotenuse AC. Suppose this point D is the midpoint of this hypotenuse. Then BD is the median on the hypotenuse, and we are going to prove that length of BD is exactly half of the hypotenuse. Now to prove this, in our textbook they have not given the proof, but we are going to learn it orally. No need to write this proof, but I am going to explain the entire proof. Try to learn it. Now first of all, do the construction. extend this median BD such that these two parts are congruent to each other. Now this is your new point, which is point E. This point is point E. Now join this point with point C. You will get these two triangles. Now observe the figure on blackboard. I am going to explain the entire proof. First of all, we have taken a right angle triangle ABC, where in triangle ABC, angle B is of 90 degree. Now, D is the midpoint of hypotenuse AC, and therefore AD is congruent to CD. We have taken both the segments congruent to each other. Now, if I join this vertex B with the midpoint D, BD is said to be the median on the hypotenuse, and that's why we are going to prove that length of BD is exactly half of AC. Now here we are going to do one construction that extend this median such that BD is congruent to ED or DE. These two segments are congruent to each other. Plot this new point E such that DE and BD are congruent to each other, and then join E and C. We will get first two triangles which are smaller triangles, triangle ADB and triangle CD and E. Now I want to prove that these two triangles are congruent to each other. Two segments, two components are already with us. That two pairs of sides are congruent to each other. AD is congruent to CD since D is midpoint, and with the help of construction, BD is congruent to ED. Now if we will take these angles which are opposite angles of each other, then we know that since the opposite angles, vertically opposite angles are congruent to each other, these two angles are also congruent to each other, and therefore our first step is true, that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle CDE by side angle side test. I am going to repeat it again. First statement, AD is congruent to CD since D is midpoint. Angle ADB is congruent to angle CDE, vertically opposite angles, and BD is congruent to ED since by construction, and therefore the first pair of triangle is congruent to each other by side angle side test. Now since these two triangles are congruent to each other, the remaining components are also congruent to each other. I will take first of all the remaining pair of side, that side AB is congruent to side EC. Next, angle A is congruent to angle C. Now observe the pairs. First of all, don't take these two angles. First of all, BC is the common side. Then AB is congruent to EC. Angle B is congruent to angle C, and also here side BC is common side of both the triangles. Triangle ABC and triangle ECB. In both the triangles, AB is congruent to EC, corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Angle B is congruent to angle C, each 90 degree. Also, BC is the common side, and that's why these two triangles are congruent to each other by side angle side test. And since the triangles are congruent, their corresponding angles are also congruent to each other, and therefore this angle A is congruent to angle C. But this pair is vertically opposite angles. This pair is of alternate angles, and since alternate angles are congruent to each other, side AB is parallel to side CE. Side AB is parallel to side CE, and that's why here we can also say that AC is congruent to BE. Last steps, AC is congruent to BE. Therefore, half of AC is congruent to half of B. But half of AC is equal to BD. since half of BE is equal to BD, substituting our last step, therefore BD is equal to half of AC is proved. Now, no one will ask you this theorem or proof of the theorem, but try to understand it. Since the figure is only given and the statement of theorem is given, I have explained the entire theorem. There are two pairs of triangles. Both the pairs are congruent to each other by side angle side test, and then get the conclusion that AC is congruent to BE. Therefore, half of AC is equal to half of BE. But with the help of construction, half of BE is equal to BD. Therefore, BD is equal to half of AC. Please remember this property. We are using this property to solve various examples in 9th standard as well as in 10th standard, that in right angle triangle, the median on the hypotenuse is equal to exactly half of the hypotenuse. Now here we are going to start our practice set 3.3. Let us take the example, first example from practice set 3.3. No need to write this theorem in your notebook, only learn the statement and remember it to solve the examples. First example, a figure is given. These two sides are congruent to each other as well as these two are congruent to each other. Point is B, this is C, this measure is X, this is 50 degree, this point is A, and this measure is Y, this is 60 degree, also this point is D. Now I am going to explain. Find the values of x and y using the information shown in figure. Also find, that means you are going to find out measures of x and y as well as angle ABD and angle AC and D. Now I am going to explain the entire example. First of all, observe the figure. In triangle ABC, the first step, AB is congruent to AC. In this chapter, we have completed one important theorem, that when in a triangle, two sides are congruent to each other, the angles opposite to those two sides are also congruent to each other. And therefore, angle ABC is equal to angle ACB by isosceles triangle theorem. And therefore, these two angles are congruent to each other. But they have given this angle as 50 degree. Therefore, x is also 50 degree. Now, similarly, consider triangle BDC. In this triangle, BD is congruent to CD and therefore DBC, angle DBC is equal to angle DCB, but one is 60 degree, therefore y is also 60 degree. Here we have found both the measures, x is 50 and y is 60 degree. Now you are going to find out the entire measure, angle ABD, which is the addition of two different angles. Now we are having both the measures, that x is 50 and this is 60. Therefore, angle ABD is 50 plus 60, which is equal to 110 degree. Now, similarly, measure of angle ACD. Here also it is the addition of these two triangles. One is of 50 degree, other one is also 60. The addition is same, that is equal to 110 degree. Now, I am going to write the entire example. How to write? In triangle ABC, AB is equal to AC given. Therefore, angle ABC is equal to angle ACB by isosceles triangle theorem. Now ABC is x, which is equal to ACB is equal to 50 degree. Substituting given values, we will get x is equal to 50 degree. Since they have given ABC as x and ACB as 50 degree. Similarly, in triangle BDC, BD is equal to CD, therefore angle BBC is equal to angle DCB, again by isosceles triangle theorem. Now DBC, the measure of this angle is given as 60 degree and this is as y. Therefore, the last step is y is equal to 60 degree. Substituting given values. Now, last step, measure of both the angles. Now observe the figure on that book. First of all, you are going to find out measure of angle ABD. Angle ABD is equal to angle ABC plus angle DBC, which is equal to ABC is having measure 50 degree and this is 60 degree. The entire addition is 110 degree. Angle ABD is equal to 110 degree. For the first step, write the reason, angle, addition, property or postulate. Now second, angle ACD, it is the measure sum of two different angles, angle ACB plus angle DCB. First measure is 50 degree, measure of second angle y, that is 60 degree, addition is 110 and therefore angle ACD is 110 degree. X is equal to 50 degree, y is equal to 60, angle ABD is 110 degree, angle ACD is also 110 degree. Here we have completed our first example from practice set 3.3. Now let us read and solve the example which is very important, that is example number 2. The length of hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is 15. Find the length of median of its hypotenuse. Example is very important. Many times it is included in question paper. Therefore, solve this example carefully. If the length of hypotenuse is changed, then also similarly solve the given example in exam. Now I am going to complete example number 2 from the same practice set. Second example, a right angle triangle is given that the length of hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is 50 and suppose this is triangle A, B and C where angle B is of 90 degree. Find the length of median. Suppose this point is D. The entire length of hypotenuse is 15. Now I am going to write the property in a right angle triangle. The length of the median on its hypotenuse is half the length of the hypotenuse. Now, how to write it? Therefore, if you don't write this property, then it also correct. BD is equal to half of AC with the help of the above theorem. Half of 15. When we divide 15 by 2, the answer is 7.5 units. Since units are not given, you are going to write the word units. Length of this median BD is 7.5 units. Example is very important. If the length of hypotenuse is changed, do the half of the given length, and that is the length of the median. Now we are going to complete example number 3. Third example. In triangle PQR, angle Q is of 90 degree, PQ is 12, QR is 5, QS is the median. Find length QS. Now to find QS, if S is the midpoint, we need length of PR. In triangle PQR, angle Q is of 90 degree. It is given. Therefore, by Pythagoras theorem, apply Pythagoras theorem, PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. Substitute the values, that is 12 square plus 5 square. 12 square is 144 as well as 5 square is 25, and the addition is equal to 169. Taking square roots, we will get length of PR is equal to 13. Now we will have the length of PR. Now using the property, we know that since it is the median on hypotenuse is exactly half of PR, that is equal to half of 13. Half of 13 is equal to 6.5. Now therefore, the median QS is equal to 6.5 units. Now here we have completed our third example also. Now we will complete our example number 4 also. This example is also very important. Here you are going to find out first of all the length of hypotenuse and then take half of it and find out the length of median. Now the fourth example is depend upon the property of the point centroid which divides the given medians in the ratio 2:1. Now a triangle PQR is given. In this triangle, all the three medians are given. Since we know that the medians are concurrent, this is the point G, which is the point of centroid, point of concurrence of median. Now here, point G is the point of concurrence of the medians of triangle PQR. If GT is equal to 2.5, length of GT is given as 2.5. Find length of PG and PT. You are going to find out PG as well as PT. Now here, write first of all the property which we have already learned, that G divides the point of concurrence of medians, divides each median in the ratio 2:1. If you don't write this property, then also it is correct. I have given it since you know that we have used these properties to solve the given example, and therefore here first of all write the ratio PG Therefore, the ratio PG is to GT. Observe on blackboard. Point G divides the median PT into two parts. First one is PG, second one is GT. PG upon GT is equal to 2:1. But they have given the length GT. Therefore, PG upon GT is given as 2.5, which is equal to 2:1. And therefore, cross multiply, PG is equal to 2 into 2.5. Therefore, PG is equal to 5 units. Now the second question, you are going to find out also PT. Therefore, P dash, G dash, T. PT is equal to PG plus GT. PG just now we have calculated, it is 5 units, and GT they have given as 2.5. 5 plus 2 is 7, and your answer is equal to 7.5 units. Therefore, length of PT is equal to 7.5 units. Students, here we have completed our practice set 3.3. Thank you.